and welcome to the feed. It's Mike, and Marty's off this week. She's over in Italy having a good time. I'm here with Linda Hoag today, and we're going to be talking about Caleb's Cherubs. First, some local events. The movie this week at the Opera House is The Blue Beetle. There it is. It's a DC comic, I think, about a guy becoming a blue beetle. And then this week's classic movie is Charlotte's Web, and it's being sponsored by the Village Square Booksellers. Thanks to Pat and Alan. Okay, Linda, welcome.
Morning. Thank you. Good morning.
Good morning to you. Caleb's Cherubs. It's an interesting title, but it could be a book.
It could.
It could be
very
a book,
well
but
could.
It's not a book. It's an interesting not-for-profit that you've established
Correct.
to help people out.
Right.
And now, I think everyone knows that today teachers spend a lot of time and a lot of their own money equipping their kids.
Right.
And because of the specialized needs for education today. So how does Caleb's Cherubs come in?
Caleb's Cherubs Educational Fund, which is the full name of the nonprofit, was an idea that came out of a vision I had about 40 years ago. But
Really?
it took me 40 years to figure out exactly what I wanted to do. And it was always about paying it forward. And just to give you a little background behind it, when my son was getting ready for school, I was a single mom at that point, and you hear that a lot of kids, it's expensive to get them that first day outfit or get their hair cut or get their book bag, their back to school requirements. And we ended up in a situation that we actually had another family help us out. I could not even afford his clothes. So they had me go to Kmart and lay away whatever we wanted for the first day, shoes included, took them the receipt, and they paid for the clothes. And I didn't feel like a mom that I could take, it was horrible for me to have to take charity, so to speak, just to send my kid back to school. And throughout that, I also discovered that he was not necessarily one that liked the regular classroom of where you listen to a book, you read a book, or you follow a whole classroom curriculum. He was like a standalone. He was too bored with that. And it took until ninth grade for a science teacher, to figure out that when she introduced him to something to do with science, he blossomed.
Oh, really?
He blossomed. It was like, no classroom for me. And so fast forward 40 years, it became very apparent a couple of years ago that kids are having a lot of problem being bullied. A lot of kids are having problems getting the back to school needs that they should have. They feel different. They go back to school the first day, and maybe they're the only ones going in with a pencil, where every other child is going in with these phenomenal backpacks, and they're loaded, to the gills, and it's kind of not fair.
Yeah.
So that vision came around we wanted to be a group that would take care of these children, that would help the teachers that are having to pay out of their pockets to put the extra needs in their classroom or materials that they need to teach the kids. And that's not fair. Teachers are being paid to do their job, but they're also having to take their pay to help educate the kids. So fast forward, long story short, we are now providing fully stocked backpacks, such as what's laying right here,
like this.
to kids going back to school. We just helped 3 classrooms. One classroom in particular, we set them up with a STEM and STEAM curriculum. So she works with behavioral children, so when they spend time with her, she gets to talk to them about their feelings. Wow, okay, how come you're in here? What did you do today? And the kids need a chance to express their feelings. They need to be able to talk about them without feeling they did something wrong, without feeling, what happened to me? Why
Without
did this?
prejudice.
Yeah. And so this classroom in particular, we stocked with a brand of stuffed animals and stories called Slumberkins. And Slumberkins are stuffed animals. They're like a sloth. One's called Hammerhead, and literally is a stuffed hammerhead. But they come with books that you can hug onto the animal, but the book will help you understand why you felt the way you did today.
Mm-hmm.
Or if you're scared, why are you scared? What are you scared about? And it's a teaching process and a learning process. So those help the child to open up or to understand it's okay to be different. And then the other end of that is Legos. We fully support Legos, and I was absolutely thrilled. I've seen over the last week that Legos are now coming out with certain STEM and STEAM Lego sets, specifically for the classrooms or home teaching. So that's kind of what we're all about. We're for the teachers.
How did you research the all of these things?
All of the.
It sounds like you've really done a lot of work as far as getting in depth and figuring out. You're not just giving somebody a ruler and a pencil. You're
exactly.
Really,
We want all of these kids to have the chance to learn at their level, at their speed. And this is where we want to work with the teachers. We'd like to set up more STEM, STEAM curriculums going forward, to where the entire classroom is like that. So maybe there's a quiet area over here where if you're not able to, if you don't want to participate in reading or writing today, let's come on over here. You can pull out a book and read, or you can, let's play with this little Lego set or building blocks. Kids need the chance to use their fingers.
Yes.
And everybody all of a sudden is all about fidget strips and fidget toys, and I wish they'd have run when I was back in school, but it's not only fidget. They need to learn to do something with their fingers and their hands, not just fidget, but build something, create something, use your imagination, bring it to life.
As an aside, my daughter is a structural engineer, and when she needs to decompress, she builds things with Legos.
Yeah.
So it's just, it's like it does.
It takes the stress level away, and you're able to let off steam and just like take a breath and go, okay, where does this go? And let's put it together.
But you're building something. You're getting that tactile, that in your head you can put things together and
right.
Yeah.
Right.
Wow.
And our mission statement is actually our mission is empowering. Had to blank there for a moment. Empowering diversity, equality, inclusion, belonging, and self-esteem through education. And the education to help them develop that is the important part. Mm-hmm. We believe, anyway. And you had asked about the research. How do we come about learning all these things? One of our board members is actually a kindergarten teacher. And she has demonstrated in her classroom that these various activities or diversions or quiet times have actually helped the kids. Mm-hmm. The kids come in on the first day and they're like, oh, vacation. No, I want to go back to vacation. I don't want to come to school. And so you're taking that like anxiety of coming back to school, but you're also taking the separation from the parent. Mm-hmm. It could be their kindergarten year and the first day they're away. Yeah. And you're taking all that rolled into one ball and forming that ball by the end of the year into a future human being that, could someday.
Hopefully wants to learn.
Hopefully wants to learn.
Yeah,
that's what we're here for.
So would you say your emphasis is on like the younger kids, or are you spreading out, or?
We are, right now we're starting on the younger kids. Yes, as we grow and our coffers grow, we do want to spread it out to every age, every child in school, kindergarten to senior, to graduation. Right now, we, since we're small and beginning, we decided to focus on the younger ones, the ones just starting school or just recently in school for a couple of years, so that we could build data, we could build history, and for the programs to show how they work, that what we're thinking really does work, so that we can use that information going forward to write grants.
Good.
Grants, I wrote 6 this past year.
Well, you just
I spent a lot of time. Yeah. My brain was on overload, but it taught me a lot. It really taught me a lot.
Sure.
And being new and having no history, and our balance statement at the end of the year was $1,000. How did it get there? Well, we had a couple people, fund us to get us off the ground. And so, without any history or anything, obviously those six applications were denied. But being able to measure a program, show how much cost goes into it to make this happen, and monitor the child from day one until the end, and see their difference in what of all these STEM and STEAM materials were involved. How did that help, or how didn't it? So that we can tweak it if we need to, or change up a little bit. So that's what we're wanting when we work with a classroom fully, like we're doing with this one in Brattleboro. She is going to measure the children, the progress, the whatever works, and we will have all that information at the end of the 24 school year, and be able to take that and put it into writing to help with some of these grants.
Wow.
And it will also help us going forward to provide more, provide less, provide different. So that's where we're going.
So you use the term STEM and STEAM, and I don't know if everyone knows what that is about.
STEM, they're abbreviations. STEM is science, technology, engineering, mathematics. STEAM is the same thing, but with arts included. So there's also a big problem with arts going on right now in schools. The art programs are not being funded well. Some of them are having to close, and I don't think that's right. If the child, arts could be band, choir, drawing, art class, dancing, anything that has to do with arts is where that comes in. So you could even use Legos to some point with the STEAM, because you can create art.
Yeah.
But we want to support the kids that want to get out there in front of the camera, or in front of the high school, grade school, and dance or sing, or that's how they learn.
And express themselves. In alternative ways.
Absolutely.
Do you think it's maybe standardized testing has caused that sort of, it drives people toward that and away from the arts?
I do.
Because they have to spend, they're being measured by the test.
Exactly.
So
I think, or we think, they should be measured by their capabilities, by their talents, by their minds. I'm not saying the school curriculum is not correct. It absolutely is needed. They do need to learn history, and they do need to learn mathematics. But as far as standardized testing, case in point, all somebody had to say to me when I was in school was, "We're having a test tomorrow." Guaranteed I'd fail it.
Really?
Test was a 4-letter word, and it was not a good word because I would just freak out. And I knew the answers. I studied, and my mother pulled her hair out because I guess I wasn't studying enough. And I'm like, no, test is a bad word. Yeah, it's a very high anxiety, and a lot of people don't realize that. And when I finally started talking about it, it's like, oh yeah, I had the same problem too. Oh, I wish they would stop doing tests. So it's real. It's real, and children today still feel the same. They can absorb the information and they can remember it, but you tell them to put that down on a piece of paper,
or
oral, or
A, B,
whatever.
C, D, or all the above.
It's
all
difficult.
falls apart.
Yep,
Yeah.
it's very difficult.
Well, I guess my next question is, how can we help?
Oh, we'd love all the help we can get. Right now, our funding only comes from fundraisers and donations. More recently, we had our first annual online auction for July was National Make a Difference for Children Month. So we held a first annual online auction, which we're going to now do every year in July to recognize that month and to put children in the focus. We also have another one at the end of the year where we do a meet and greet with Santa.
Oh.
And we have like an online Christmas basket raffle, bidding, whatever you want to call it, and we have a few things in there. So, but
so people need to get to your website.
People do need to get to the website.
And I don't know, do we have that up? Here we go. Because I've been to the website and it's quite good. I mean,
thank you.
I don't know who created it, but they did an amazing job.
We'll leave that between you and me. We've tried to get any information anyone could ever want. I think is
it's
on
really
that
well
website.
Done. It tells a lot about what you. It really gets to the point of what you guys are doing.
Yeah.
And but that is the main way people can get to you to give you donations.
The main way, yes. There's several options on there for donations, and if you do not want to use the like PayPal, credit card system, anything like that, a check is perfectly fine. We still take cash and checks. So, and there's addresses on there where checks could be mailed to or whatever. We're, as I said, we're about a year old, so we are really struggling right now to raise the funds. We also we have an opportunity that we're fundraising once a month at doing bingo concessions for our local bingo night, and so anything that the gamers purchase during the night, that goes 100% to Caleb's fund. So we, the adults, donate whatever we're making or fixing, so the fund gets 100% of the proceeds.
Yeah, it seems like you guys are really like learning to ride the bike while you're building it.
We are.
I mean, you're putting out these backpacks. You told me you have 20 that you're distributing today.
Yes.
You've already done the fundraisers and everything else, and you're only a year old. So
we're only a year old,
quite
right?
a dynamic organization.
It's been phenomenal. Like the last few months, we've been asked to speak or write an article, share with local Rotary clubs. And before that, we were just a name, and I could put it out on Facebook, I could put it on Caleb's page, I could put it on my page, and it was just like, if you're like me, you just get on, you look real quick, and you close Facebook.
Yeah,
so that's what we were kind of up against. But now with reaching out to we've had schools reach out to us, teachers reach out to us, and so everything that we do, we're including, we have a brochure, we have a business card, so that goes with everything to keep everybody up to date on how to get in touch with us.
Right.
And I don't know where to go from there.
well, I was going to ask, because you mentioned earlier about you going out and shopping and what an eye-opener it was just to figure out, just to see the cost.
Just to see the cost. It's astounding. This bag right here, we consider it fully stocked for the sixth grade and up, because it contains headphones for their computers, a notebook, dividers, paper, 3-ring paper, notebook paper, pencils, color pencils, fine point markers. I would say this bag right here for a parent or a guardian to go out and put the things that are in this bag, it's going to run them about $40.
Wow.
And if you have 2 or 3 kids, that runs up
going through the
really
money,
quickly. Yeah. And so that's where we want to step in and help take some of that burden away.
And so, like some places, like if you watch TV, like Burlington and places like that, they'll do Stuff the Bus, where people just fill things up. That gives you stuff, but it sounds like you guys are really doing the more specialized, like you have a real targeted, focused things that you want. So probably money donations go a lot further for you than
monetary donations are, for us, is kind of what it's all about.
Yeah.
We could always say, oh, we need this or we need this, and it would be great, if you have a set of Legos laying around that you don't want anymore, sure, we'll take those. But to have the financial capability to go out and make certain dreams or wish lists happen is much more, works better for us.
Good. And from the receiving side, how do you get requests, and how do you know which is going to be where are you going to put your donations next? Yeah.
One of our board members actually works for one of the school districts, and the one teacher, the two teachers that we have recently helped with just supplies that they needed, came through the grapevine through there.
Yeah.
The teacher that we were really working on her classroom, she actually went on Facebook and asked for some help. I'm doing this and I'm doing this, and it costs. And if I put a wish list out here, if anybody would like to fill one of the items, and so I reached out to her, told her who we were, and met with her, and it was ironic. It was like it was a really meant to be meeting, because her dreams were our vision, and
nice.
what we want to do, the whole program.
Right,
so we have actually outfitted that classroom with a mini fridge and a small microwave, so that when the kids are hungry, they can just go over there and get a beefaroni, pop it in the microwave. Because if kids' tummies are rumbling, that's the only thing on their mind. They're not going to pay attention to what you're saying. So we believe in supporting them fully, right down to eating.
That's another outside the box thing I wouldn't have thought you would be doing. But
well, a lot of the schools, we started our focus was like on equity focused schools, which are Title I. They receive funding from the government, but maybe 40% or so, and lately the numbers have been dropping. And in those equity-focused schools, you do have the families that cannot afford everything, and we don't want to single them out. That's why we want to do everything for everybody. And we even have a spare clothes closet for the younger kids, so if kids need clothes. Right now we have a few jackets and gloves and hats for the winter and t-shirts, and so we're getting that kind of put together and built up. So that will be our other offer. So we will come full circle.
That's great.
Yeah.
Well, we have about 3 minutes left.
Okay.
What points have we missed? Have we missed anything you wanted to get out today?
Boy.
Who was Caleb?
Caleb. Let me see if I can do that in 3 minutes. Caleb was my little dog. He was ours, my husband's and mine, but he was mine. He wandered into the Humane Society the day that I was in there for a meeting, and he was about 3 months old, was found running across the Dummerston Covered Bridge, and it was pretty obvious that he was not meant to be. So we took him home, we fostered him for a few days, took him back, and it was like, no, he's going to come home. So he went with me every time I traveled somewhere. He was my co-pilot, my companion, my secret keeper, my best friend. And through him, he taught me patience. He taught me empathy. And he taught me to don't ever look at anything negative. Always find the positive in something. And that is why he became the dog under the tree. And the tree with the stars, he's looking up at the kids that he's been helping, and those kids are going on in life. Someday we hope to have a bazillion stars on that tree if it can hold them. But that's who Caleb was.
Well, great. Well, thank you for coming today, and
Absolutely.
Wish you the best of luck. Remember to give to Caleb's Cherubs. Check out their website. It's fantastic. And thank you.
Reach out to me. Thank you.
Yes. And that's it for this week on The Feed. We'll see you, Bellows Falls and Keene.
Local news, politics, business, sports, arts, music. My God,